Colin, do you think Carmelo's comments about Jordan were a compliment?
Well, he was trying to make them a compliment. I think he was trying to. But I think in the process of trying to, he paused and said, "It's about time." And that's the headline of the Chicago Sun-Times. And that's the belief of a lot of people, myself included. Whereas in the city of Chicago and the city of Charlotte, we've had either discriminating legislation or historic gun violence. Jordan's a massive figure in both cities and has said nothing and done nothing. It used to be his whole brand was built around be like Mike. It was the coolest thing in the world, even baseball and football players. But be like Mike in 2016 is detached, playing golf, smoking cigars, maybe doing some gambling, and he feels sort of socially kind of out of touch. So I don't think Carmelo meant to dig, but when I heard it, what stuck with me was, and it's about time.
I think I agree with you. I think it was a yes and no. He called it brilliant. And basically, why wouldn't he? Carmelo started this, he and LeBron James. But he's also saying and reminding everybody he's late to the party.
Sure.
We started this party, he's late to it. But I want to go back to where we were at yesterday and what we started. Because before our show, all you heard was universal praise of Michael Jordan. And I felt like we opened the door for people to start critically analyzing exactly what Michael Jordan said, which was virtually nothing. And the hypocrisy of coming out at this time when he's been so silent on so many different issues. I thought if you went back in today, Richard Sherman of the Seattle Seahawks today, I thought had the authentic athlete perspective today, back again on the undefeated. He talked about why he won't associate with Black Lives Matters. He talked about why it's important. If you're gonna start cleaning up problems, start at home. He talked about that and said, we as African Americans, let's start with stopping the violence in our own community and then build out from there. That is the true athletic culture he's expressing. Because when you're an athlete, you're a priest, and you believe every problem starts with you. Every solution to every problem starts with you. Don't look outside the locker room for solutions. I want to celebrate Richard Sherman and this entire conversation because we're finally getting close to the truth.
You know, it's interesting. My problem with Jordan wasn't that he was not charitable. It's that in the two cities in America that he is most profoundly important, Chicago and Charlotte, he had these great opportunities. He's had great opportunities for years in the 90s when you were getting deaths over his tennis shoes. It's not like Michael hasn't had openings. He has. But I think he's almost been empirical, above it all, looking down. And I think the movement, the passing of Muhammad Ali, has made all athletes, after watching how he was acknowledged, say, you know, if you want to make a greater impact in life, it's not about the stacks of money. It's about touching others and taking stands. And you could make an argument that a month ago, the death of Ali has really opened eyes up for a lot of athletes.
I want to go back and make this point again, perhaps a little bit more clear. The system, when Michael was most popular in Chicago, was rigged up in a way that if you took unpopular stances, you paid a penalty for that. So if Michael Jordan has started talking about the urban violence within Chicago, the system was rigged up for him. It was rigged in a way that it would make more sense to stay quiet on that issue, and it makes more sense now. Now the system rewards you for speaking out on police violence, and so he's out here running his mouth or joining in the fray in an inauthentic way. I just think this entire conversation we're having hopefully is going to continue to move in a more authentic direction. And Michael Jordan, I think, has opened the door for people to start thinking critically about this. We see it a little bit here from Carmelo. I think I saw a lot of it from Richard Sherman. Again, if athletes want to stay true to what they really believe and what they're really taught and the concepts that made them successful, they're not going to be focused on the tragic incidents relating to police violence, which are terrible. But there's an overwhelming number of young black men being killed by each other in Chicago, in Baltimore, in Charlotte, in every major urban city. And we all need to start there. And so I like where this conversation's going.